Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Aries Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of November 2019. Hello and welcome. I just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. We recently just had a 25,000 subscriber giveaway on my Instagram. Emily won a free 60-minute reading with me, so congratulations and happy birthday as well to her. She had a solar return recently, so send her lots of blessings. In the time since, however, we've actually nearly jumped to 30,000 subscribers, which was really insane and unexpected because I didn't even put the mid-monthly readings up that I normally do. I do apologize, I was sick. I did kind of post about that. Thank you all who sent me positive healing energy during that time. I really did appreciate it. I'm mostly over it now, but my voice may be a little raspy throughout the video, so I do apologize. But being so close to 30,000 subscribers, I feel like there is another giveaway right around the corner, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I will be posting stuff like that on all of my social media whenever I'm doing a giveaway or offering a special deal, or posting blogs. I do a blog. I've been doing some blogging lately, separate from the astrology blogs that I've been doing for each of these videos, so you can check those out. And I also have pick a card and general card readings on my Instagram as well. So lots of fun things to follow and indulge in there. I do have all of those links for my social media in the description box down below, as well as links for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called. I do also just want to give a quick warning that my availability is going to be very limited throughout the month of November. I'm actually doing National Novel Writing Month, so I'm going to be doing a lot of writing and I'm not going to have a lot of spare time. So if you want to get a reading with me, I would do that as soon as possible. I may be taking them down for a little while if it gets too busy. So definitely schedule sooner rather than later. I will still be offering the urgency readings for people who need an emergency expedited reading, but otherwise it'll probably only be a couple weeks if I end up doing that, or maybe not even, and I'll be back in December. So just letting you all know ahead of time. I do like to start off these readings with a brief astrological energy report for the month ahead. I know not everyone is interested in that, so I will invite someone to leave a timestamp in the comment section down below that skips ahead to the actual reading. I do recommend, however, at least listening to part of it or kind of skimming through it, because I do feel like the astrology and tarot tends to really complement one another and work very well together. It can also help you figure out what might be happening when in context of the reading. This isn't going to necessarily be exhaustive. Again, I would really refer to the astrological forecast blog in the description box if you want a more thorough understanding of what this month is going to look like astrologically. I have all of the dates of aspects and transits, as well as little descriptions for each of them, so you can kind of get a good sense of the energy that we're working with here. Now, we do have a Mercury retrograde. I'm sure most of you are aware of that by now. We have Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, which is kind of an intense placement. It's always interesting when Mercury goes retrograde in a water sign. It did go retrograde in Pisces earlier this year. I do feel like whenever it goes retrograde in a water sign, intuition actually does increase, because when Mercury is going retrograde, its energy is going inward. And when it's in a water sign, it can really amp up those intuitive and psychic abilities. I know I have felt like super dialed in for these past few readings that I've been doing. And so that's something to kind of enjoy about it, but it might be, the logical brain might glitch a little bit. You might also have a hard time understanding what exactly your intuition is trying to tell you. You might be getting these messages or impressions and you don't know quite what to do with it. Mercury retrograde is really just kind of a time to slow down and to sort of release control. If you're trying to get somewhere fast, if you're really hung up on dates and specific times for things, I would really just remain as open, as flexible as possible, or just understand that there may very well be some delays. Mercury retrograde really isn't that bad of a thing. I know it can be kind of difficult, and a lot of people really freak out, especially tarot readers and astrologers. You'll hear things like don't sign any contracts, don't enter into any commitments. And while you should definitely be more cautious of doing those things during Mercury retrograde, the reality is you have to live your life. We don't live in the society where we can just put our life on pause because Mercury goes retrograde. And that's why I tell people to just stay open, don't get too stuck on things, don't try and control too many things, and it will actually really open things up for you. As a Virgo, and personally my chart is just ruled by Mercury, I am very affected by Mercury retrogrades. And by just kind of taking this surrendered approach to Mercury retrograde, it really has lessened the impact on my life. The difference is actually quite astounding. So really just working with this energy. And Mercury retrograde really isn't meant to be a punishment. It's not meant to be a dark or malevolent time. What it really is helping you refine and perfect the things you are doing or working on. And it may be trying to make you redirect your course as well. It's showing you what is working and what isn't working in your life. So kind of keep all of that in mind. As you're going through these delays, as you're experiencing all of these obstacles or miscommunications, really ask yourself, how does this benefit me? Really challenge yourself to kind of see the silver lining, to see the opportunity for growth or where this may be steering you. I do know that this month is kind of an introverted month, to be honest with all of you. It's not going to be... It's definitely a very intense month. I don't think it's going to be that spunky side of Scorpio that we can sometimes get. It's definitely more of the withdrawn, intense, introverted energy. But I do feel like there's actually a lot of potential to transform and to really focus on what it is you want to achieve. And there's actually several lovely aspects that are happening throughout the month. So really, it's not all bad. It's just using the energy to your advantage. A lot of what is happening, especially between the 8th and the 12th, it's going to be a lot about kind of figuring out how to make your dreams into a reality. Kind of getting a more refined picture of what it is you want for the future. Really clarifying that vision. And Mercury retrograde is also a time about reviewing the past. So it's like looking at the past, what's worked, what hasn't, and how you can go forward with that from there. And we do also have Neptune that is going direct at the end of the month. Neptune is kind of an interesting planet because it's actually retrograde half the year anyway. So it's not like... It's not to say that you don't feel it or there's no effects to it. There's absolutely effects to it, but I think it's most pronounced when it's stationing. So right as it's going direct or right as it's going retrograde. When Neptune goes retrograde, it has kind of a funny effect in that it actually clarifies things. It can make things much more apparent. Whereas when it is direct, things can be a little foggy, a little mysterious, dreamlike. It might be easier to succumb to manipulation or deception. And a lot of the time right as it goes retrograde, you may find out how someone has been swindling you or someone has been taking advantage of you or deceiving you. It can kind of be like a rude awakening sort of energy. And Neptune in Pisces specifically, it has a lot to do with escapism and, self-destructive behaviors too. So really, self-sabotage is kind of a key word for this month as well. How have you been sabotaging yourself? And I think that's actually really, really clear right now. And it's almost like we're going through this review period before we go back into that Neptune direct. And when that happens, it can be really easy to relapse into old addictions or default on old behaviors that no longer serve us. Things that we have kind of overcome during that Neptune direct, Neptune retrograde, it may be a really strong temptation around that time, which is going to be around November 27th, if I'm not mistaken. But with Mercury trining Neptune a couple of times, I want to say the first time is on the 11th. I could be wrong. Again, Astrology blog has all of those details. And then again, actually on the 28th, right after it goes direct. So those 2 days are going to be really good at solidifying and clarifying the insights you need to carry with you through this Neptune direct phase. And ultimately, it's going to be up to you whether you take these insights to heart, put them to action, implement healthier routines or healthier ways of being, or you kind of just slip back into the old unhealthy or dysfunctional things that don't work for you anymore. And inevitably, it'll just blow up in your face again, anyways. Maybe when Neptune goes retrograde in the next 6 months. So, again, it's really your choice. But I do feel like there's a lot of psychic energy because of those connections, because there's so much water in the air right now. Again, intuition is really high and emotions are like going crazy. I feel like a lot of people are just having really intense emotions come up, and this is all to learn from them. This is all for our benefit. So, just go with the flow. Let this energy just run its course. And do what you need to do to, but really just kind of really reflect on all of this. We do also have a Taurus full moon on the 12th, which is a great opportunity to ground if you're feeling really overwhelmed by this energy. If you're really feeling tossed by it, spending time outside, barefoot under the moon. I know it's super cold out, at least where I live, because I live in upstate New York. But even just touching a tree, something that will help ground you, or just spending time in nature, those are all really easy and amazing ways to ground. You actually experience what is called a negative ionic exchange if you are barefoot or you're holding on to a tree. We usually don't get that because we're walking on concrete, we're walking in shoes, and it prevents that the ionic exchange that helps keep us calm, because negative ions, which we get from the earth, which we get from nature, are conducive to the health of your nervous system and your immune system. And if we have too many positive ions, which are emitted by our electronics, our technology, it can make us more prone to stress, anxiety, and agitation. So if you're feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, really give yourself that negative ionic exchange. Get outside, ground yourself, and there's so many other ways to ground too, but I think that's just the simplest. And also letting go of things that make you feel insecure or unstable, any sort of blockages there, because as the full moon starts to wane, it's a really beautiful time to let go of the things that no longer serve you. So however that pertains to you with that Taurus full moon, I think it's a good way to get out of a poverty mentality, get out of this mentality of nothing seems stable, everything is just so rocky and difficult. Really find that stability, really challenge yourself to see it. And sometimes you actually have to let things go and kind of clear out your space, and it actually brings in new things as well. So some of you may actually benefit from physically cleaning out your space this Taurus new moon, full moon, sorry. And we do have a Sagittarius new moon on the 24th, as well as Sagittarius season starting on the 22nd. Of course, we're already going to be having some planets moving through there. Venus is already in there, which is really just kind of broadening your horizons, expanding yourself, learning new things, traveling, signing up for classes, and manifesting these things. Manifesting these new experiences for yourself is a really great time to bring that in if it feels like something that's just totally unavailable to you. But again, November's it's not all bad. It is kind of an intense month. I'm not gonna lie, I'll give you that. But there is still so much potential for transformation, especially for career, your purpose, and really figuring out what that means for you. So use this energy wisely, use this time wisely, and I think you can really benefit from it. Now, I do want to get into your reading, Aries. I am going to do some quick shuffling here. Before we go in, I just want to disclaim that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to be meant for you. If this video doesn't really resonate, or you would like to get more clarity, you are welcome to look at the videos for your other signs, so your sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs. If you don't know what those are, I have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below that can help you figure that out. I do also have a mid-monthly series called Heart of the Matter, which are my love and relationship readings for those of you who are looking for tarot specifically tailored to love and romance, as well as friendships and other relationships. A lot of different things come up in those. So check those out. You can just look at the most recent one or peruse through the previous months. They are actually all timeless readings. So I hope those can help you as well. Now we are going to be looking at the energy coming into November, so this could be what you've been dealing with in October or perhaps even further back. Again, this is definitely a review period, so it very well could be some old energy that we're going to be looking at here. Keep that in mind. What is the energy for Aries coming into the month of November? Show me clearly. Interesting. Yeah, some of you I feel like left some stuff behind. We have the Chariot and the Six of Cups. The Four of Cups and the Father of Cups. And the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, Aries, don't freak out, but we do have 666 here. Again, I know this isn't a traditional interpretation, but sabotage. I do think of that devil card. The master number 666, this frequency is actually a lot about claiming power and your personal strengths. But I think we're kind of looking at our shadow a little bit here for this month. So do keep that in mind. But this is kind of interesting energy. We do have the Chariot and we do have the Six of Cups together. This is kind of a funny energy because the Chariot is about going forward and the Six of Cups is about connecting to the past or connecting to something that makes us feel nostalgic. Some of you may have moved home. Some of you may have moved to the place you're from. I could definitely see that for this collective. I do feel like there's been a lot of healing that's been taking place and a lot of progress, wanting to move forward and also connecting to your past as well. This is actually showing up in your day-to-day, kind of the physical. So this is showing up for career, work, home, family, that sort of thing. Could also potentially be involving some relationships as well, especially if you live with your partner. But I'm getting more the sense of, I actually do feel like some of you literally moved. That feels like really strong for this collective, actually, with the Chariot. And I feel like it's kind of been finding a balance between healing and picking your battles with this Chariot card. You've really had to realign your energy. If you feel like you've been stopped a lot or there's been a lot of blockages, especially with Mercury retrograde, I think the universe is really trying to get you to check your alignment. There might be something kind of off in your energy, although I feel like you've healed a lot. With this Four of Cups and the Father of Cups showing up in your heart, your emotions, some of you could be involved with a water sign. There's definitely some Cancer energy here. Could also be a Scorpio or a Pisces. And it feels like there's a lot of disappointment there. Maybe that's what you've been healing from. There's definitely a sense of having to find some sort of resolve. And I really feel like even though you're moving physically, I feel like emotionally there's still some stuff from the past here. You're having a hard time bringing in something new because of some past hurts. Could also be someone who was emotionally abusive to you with this Father of Cups. Might have played some mind games with you and really screwed your sense of being able to trust with people. I almost wonder if you're kind of in this toxic dynamic with this person. It's like you're trying to go forward and they keep bringing you back. I could actually see that. And if it's not actually with this person, it's that energy, you know, kind of coming in and out of this toxic energy. It feels like a wound that was left by someone else, though. And the Six of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, I do feel like you are moving forward. That's the thing. I actually feel like there's been some boon for you as well with that Six of Pentacles. I do feel like karmically your efforts are rewarded, even if they weren't rewarded in this certain situation with this person. Some of you may have had to like move back home or move in with your family because you left someone. I could definitely see that. But you are getting support somewhere. Some of you might not be feeling that though, because you do have the Four of Cups. But I do feel like people are trying to support you. Really look for that. Really open your eyes to that. A lot of conflicting energy. I'm going to be honest, Aries. This is a very conflicted spread so far. I'm really curious to see what the animal cards have to say and what this energy is looking like for you in November. Cobra and Hawk. It's definitely been a very spiritual, watery, reflective time for you. Your intuition is very strong. Cobra is about timing. Maybe you haven't been able to move forward or go forward, or there's been some delays because it was just an issue of divine timing. Things weren't ready. But you know there's change coming with the Hawk card. It's like, even if there were delays, it doesn't seem to prevent you from going forward. You know change is coming. I do feel like there's a really big perspective shift that has been happening for the Aries collective as well. Some of you may come into contact with a new teacher, or you have come into contact with a new teacher or spiritual speaker, or maybe some sort of spiritual advisor, tarot reader even. Could really be any number of things. It could also just be you exploring new ideas, new concepts, or practicing new meditations or techniques for manifesting or something like that. I just see a lot of spiritual development. Interesting. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what is coming in at the start of November for you. We're going to be looking at the first half of November now. Again, keep in mind these time frames are fluid. This is a general reading, so especially take it with a grain of salt. Don't freak out if certain things don't happen by a certain time. This energy might actually be stuff you are just dealing with in November for some of you too. So again, this is all very fluid. It's just the way the energy is moving right now. But what is being introduced for the general collective of Aries at the start of November? That's too many. Show me clearly. Okay. Show me clearly. One more message. Interesting. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Mother of Wands that came out together. The Nine of Cups. And the Mother of Swords. Aries, you're manifesting something. It might have taken a while. You know, we have the nines, 2 9s now, a lot of repeating numbers. 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups. You're feeling pretty worn down. You've definitely worked really hard. This hasn't necessarily come easy. Or there's been some trials in the process of attaining this thing. But you're feeling a lot of happiness. Even if you're feeling physically exhausted, I even see this Mother of Wands, which is actually your energy here, this Queen of Wands. It's your main indicator. Could also be talking about Sagittarius or Leo, but really this feels like your energy and how you're coming across at the start of November. And even this image, this art, this Mother of Wands, she's protecting her egg. She's holding her wand close. She's protecting the things most precious to her. She's kind of resting as well. And I feel like you are recharging after all of this hard work. Some of you, you are still on the last steps. There's just a little more perseverance you need to go. But I really do see that something is coming for you very, very soon with that 9 of Cups right next to it. And it feels really, really good. It's very fulfilling for you. And there's a lot of personal happiness to be had. As it comes to communication and your mind, we do have the Mother of Swords. I almost feel like this is someone external to you. It could be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This person is very guarded, perhaps due to ways that they were hurt in the past by other people. And they're being a bit guarded with you. And I almost feel like you're kind of just forced to focus on your own happiness right now. If you're in a relationship with this person, they might just be a little cut off. They might be a little cold, or might even say some, nasty things to kind of get their space. And I almost feel like, Aries, you kind of need your space too. This energy does seem to also go both ways. You might be a little guarded to this person as well. Do keep in mind with these readings, whenever there's another party, the roles can be switched because energy is fluid and these are general readings, so the message is going to be a little different for all of you. But I just feel like overall inner communication, there is this sense of someone being very guarded and maybe even being a little cutting. So keep that in mind. It's almost like you have this success, you have this victory, and this person, it's like they're not celebrating with you, which is kind of sad. But I still feel like you can be happy. You're definitely going through a healing cycle too. There's a lot of healing elements in this spread so far. You've really been through it. And I feel like you're finally coming out of it. The Mother of Wands is someone who's really had to go through the trials of the wand suit, all of these challenges, all of these obstacles, and she's become a better person because of it, and she helps people who are struggling. So I feel like whatever it is you've been struggling with, it's made you into a stronger person. And that's why I feel like even if this Mother of Swords is kind of hurting you with their behavior, it doesn't have to be female either. Don't pay too much attention to the gender of the cards. But it's like, you've just been through so much. It's like, I don't know what anyone else can say to you at this point. You might even just cut this person out. I could actually kind of see that. Firefly. Manifestation keeps coming up with this card, actually. Which is not usually the energy I get with it. There is definitely something magical about a firefly. It's almost like your light. Your light is coming in and out. And it's important for you to really act when you feel this illumination. Don't waste any inspiration that comes to you. Don't waste the good days when you're just feeling good and there's something you want to do it in that moment. Don't waste that precious energy, because it is kind of on and off. But there is a really strong window for you to manifest with this Nine of Cups. Again, there is kind of this conflicting energy. I actually want to pull a card for this Mother of Swords. I want to clarify this. Show me clearly. Let's try that again. What are the messages? What is the clarity for this Mother of Swords? Why is the Mother of Swords here? Wheel of Fortune. Someone's going through a change. And I think it's actually really hard on this person. And it could just be you. Maybe it's all the changes you've been through. You're just having a hard time opening up. You're definitely feeling a bit beat down. I do feel like there might be something going on with this person that you're not aware of. If they're being extra cold or distant with you, I want you to keep that in mind. This is also Sagittarian energy as well. So for some of you, this could be a Sagittarius. Could also be referring to Sagittarius season, which is towards the end of the month as well. Maybe this person will start opening up to you around that time. I'm going to look now at the second half of November, where all of this is kind of going, where all of this is leading. I do feel like this Mother of Swords could be someone from the past for some of you. Maybe it's this person you moved on from, and maybe that's why you're guarded. Again, kind of interesting, contradictory energy here. We have the Ace of Cups, then the Hermit, and then finally the Seven of Cups. Ace of Cups is showing up in your day-to-day life, some sort of healing. There might be a new romance budding for some of you, or kind of a new connection. I really feel like this is more about healing, to be honest, though. Because your emotions, your heart, you have the Hermit. Some of you are just learning how to love yourself. But it's interesting because someone around you might be offering you this Ace of Cups. They want to get to know you. They want to get closer to you. And this Hermit card is you kind of withdrawing into your shell. Really could be this person from the past for some of you. Could also be a Virgo with that Hermit energy. The Seven of Cups, you're really confused. It's like, it's not just like you have all of these options and you don't know what to choose from. It's like you want something and you don't want something. I do feel like there is this dreamy energy here as well, though. This is definitely Neptune in direct stuff. I think that's why the Hermit card is showing up. You're really trying to get clear on what it is you want. Maybe that's in love. Maybe that's in career. It could be any area of your life. You're trying to find this light within you. There's just this sense of confusion. I'm curious to see what the animal cards have to say, if there's any assistance that they can provide. What is the animal wisdom for Aries in the second half of November? I did have bee kind of pop up, but it didn't really fall out. We have lamb and hyena. Some of you use humor as a mask, or just a positive attitude as a mask. And it's actually kind of destructive for you. Also, pay attention for someone who seems to be laughing too much, or someone who seems to put on a front or a show. I almost feel like you can kind of sense there's something beneath the surface with that person. But honestly, Aries, I feel like for a lot of you, it's almost like you're just trying to deceive yourself with your laughter, with your humor. Obviously, you're doing this with other people, but I think deep down there's some things you're not allowing yourself to explore, and I think that's also why Hermit's here, reminding you to seek within, go within. And the Lamb card. The universe is speaking to you in a lot of ways, actually. It could even just be in conversations you overhear, or images that come to your mind. It's really important to listen when Lamb comes up, to find calm, tranquility in your mind. I feel like we need a color healing card here. You can use the exercise in the book. I'm going to read straight from the book for these. I've actually been doing art therapy journals with these. Using these colors and writing down affirmations that match the card. And those have actually been really fun. But you can really do whatever you want with this color. Just kind of work with this frequency. This is just a color that is very healing for you right now, Aries. And hopefully will help you gain some clarity or connect with what it is you want. What is the color healing card for Aries? And I think part of that too is just a lot of conflict. A lot of this conflicting energy. You're not really sure what it is you want. And I don't think you take that seriously enough for you. Tangerine. Be spontaneous and have fun. Okay. Let's see here. Tangerine is a color of vibrancy, creativity, zest for life, and vitality. It has the capacity to awaken your sexual and creative energies and symbolizes warmth, richness, courage, and spontaneity. Inner knowing, action, confidence, and determination are properties of Tangerine. Activate Tangerine energy and unleash your wild self. Experiment with Tangerine to awaken your creative juices. What have you always wanted to do and never had the courage to do? Before doubt sets in, let go and give yourself permission to do something wild and spontaneous. Allow your inner child to come out and play. Rub your hands together for a minute, then place them slightly apart. Visualize tangerine rays of light shining out of your hands as you place them above your solar plexus, heart, and head for a minute each, allowing the tangerine ray to activate your full, spontaneous, adventurous self. Start living an extraordinary life today. Say, divine intelligence, or say, infinite intelligence now awakens my creative, spontaneous, adventurous self. I am ready to allow fun and laughter into my life. Maybe this hyena card is actually telling you to stop taking things so seriously, too. I almost feel like some of you really are stuck in your head. You're trying to figure out what it is you do, or what it is to do. Although I do feel like some of you are overly relying on humor, and it's time to just get out there and have fun. Do something physical. I feel like that will really help get out of this stuck energy, get out of this conflicting energy, and just allow momentum to naturally come into your life again. So I do hope that this was helpful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what is going on for all of you. What is all of this conflicting energy about? It seems very confusing here. Let me know if this color healing card was also helpful for you as well. Again, I have links in the description box for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called. And it is first come, first serve this month. There is some limited availability, so hop on that really fast if that's something you are interested in. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next video. Bye, Aries.